Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Jenny. This is Jeff, the Garage Guy. Spent a couple hours this morning playing around with some things for you. Basically, in the last email I sent, I had mentioned that perhaps we could do a refrigerator that doesn't have a side compressor. So what I did is I took a very visually similar refrigerator. I realize it's a different brand here, but this is the size of the refrigerator and the style of refrigerator that you guys had sent me the link to. The problem with the refrigerator isn't necessarily the size as much as it is the compressor on the side, at least visually to me. And it doesn't, necessarily help the bar design with the size either. Obviously, the smaller, the more beautiful stuff we can put around it. But the side compressors, when I design something, I may want to stick the fridge in the middle and have some sort of symmetry going on. Maybe put the sink to the right of it or something like that. Or regardless of where the fridge is, the compressor is just not going to be attractive. So what I did here was I made you a picture showing the size comparison in the space. So now you can see the difference in how much room this would take up, and it would pretty much be forced to the left side of the wall, as opposed to being kind of showcased in the center. It could be an option here with this one on the right. The interesting thing about the one on the right, I didn't spend a whole lot of time. I'm not going to pick a refrigerator. I don't know anything about refrigerators other than to look at the specs and check the clearances and things like that. But this refrigerator, it's only 21.5 inches deep, and it's got the rear compressor built in, taking away from the capacity. If there was a refrigerator that had a rear compressor that made the cabinet deeper than normal, that would be an issue in most cases. But in your case, it's not, because we have so much room behind it. I can easily design something around a fridge that's extra deep. If we found an extra deep refrigerator with a large capacity and a compressor in the back, that would be an option too. So those are just my thoughts on the refrigerator. Just let me know what you think. Hopefully the web page I sent you has everything you need to learn about that fridge or something similar. If there's a reason why you really want to stick with this brand or something due to your connections or something like that, just let me know. But I would personally like to see the compressor disappear from the side of the fridge. Also, I forgot to get to you about store wall colors. Here's the colors we have. I personally really like the gray. The reason I like the gray for you guys is because I'm leaning toward doing finished cabinets for you guys. I think when it's all said and done, the couple $100 in savings you're going to get if we do the unfinished interiors versus the finished interiors, I'm taking a guess at this point, you're probably going to pick the finished cabinets with the finished interiors and the nice finished doors. Now my standard finished doors, you can see this gray edge going around the outside. It's pretty thick. It's a 2mm thick edge banding is what it's called, and it gives the doors a lot of character. So you get these white doors. In this computer image, they're kind of gray, but they're white, just like the panels below. You get these nice white doors with these gray edges, and it makes a really strong look. And if you went that way, then I would say the gray store wall would tie in with the cabinetry really well. To go outside of the white with the gray edge would be going into custom, which I doubt you want to go, that extravagant in there or pay extra money to, customize these. The alternative to these gray edges and finished cabinets is what I discussed earlier, and that is going to be these unfinished interiors. And what I do with the unfinished interiors is I take a white material that has a brown core, and I just bevel the edge of the white material, and it gives you a brown accent versus a gray accent. So if we go over here to my website, you can see this is a garage here I did many years ago, and you can see the brown edge on the doors. That's just the exposed core of the material. In this case, not in this particular garage, but in a lot of cases in garages I do now, I take this brown and I'll tie it in with what's called oak store wall or handy wall, and that's this color here, which I think looks really nice if you chose to do the unfinished interiors. It would look really nice even if you did the gray edges on the doors, or alternatively you could really pick out of any of these colors you want. There's enough store wall in here for me to justify an order, so it's no big deal. So here are your store wall colors. Handy Solutions is the current company I'm ordering this material from right now, and I like their product, and they got nice colors. I have samples of all these too, but the oak has a nice grain to it. It's a really rich look. In my experience, the maple is not my taste personally. It's just a little bit light. It's kind of like, looks like unfinished wood in my opinion. Black, I think that will show dust, and it'll make a really dark room, so I wouldn't suggest that. White's pretty cool, but white also shows dust in a strange way. A lot of times white, like in the cabinets, white is great. It doesn't actually show dust. That's because it's not statically charged when I saw it install it. And when I install this white here, it seems to suck up the dust in the environment while I'm working. I don't know, maybe a week later when you wipe it down it will never happen again. I'm sure the static will dissipate over time. But gray, I really like gray, and I really like oak. Those are my two official suggestions, and that is simply a matter of taste, so it's completely up to you. So that's what I got so far. I'll just give you kind of another quick show of this refrigerator and all that, and how the space is relating in case it matters. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.